What's good with y'all boys? It's your boy Zane here back with a new video, and I know it's been a long ass time since I made a fucking video, but I figured, you know what, shit, bro, I might as well just turn on the camera and make a new video. You might notice that my camera does look a little different, and my mic does sound a little different, and that is because both of them broke. So I don't really know how, but they did. They were both kind of old, so it makes sense. But I'm taking a different direction. No, not a different direction. I'm just changing my content up a little bit so where I'm doing reaction videos, but I'm also going to stick with my same niche from before, making, horror videos, or not horror videos, but horror like gameplay videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I just thought I'd turn the camera back on, just see where I can go with this, what I can do with it. So let's just hop into the video I'm gonna react to today. Okay, so this video is titled "Do Animals Know They Exist?" Which is low-key a good question because I feel like, I mean, obviously they probably do feel like they exist and like know they exist, but like, like big bro in the back right there, like it would be interesting to like see what goes on in their head. So let's dive into the video.
Right now, there's a dog lying on a couch somewhere, staring at the wall. And if you asked its owner what it's thinking about, they'd probably say something like nothing, or food, or squirrels. But what if that's wrong? What if behind those eyes there's something looking back? What if that dog knows, on some level, that it exists? Or, and this is the question that should actually keep you up at night, what if it doesn't? What if you are the only kind of thing in the entire universe that knows it's alive? In 1970, a
Wait, that's actually like that is kind of crazy to think about because like as far as we know, we're like the only like conscious thing. So, like, it would be kind of crazy if, I mean, like, look at him, like, he's just like chilling back there, like he could be literally thinking about absolutely nothing, just like steering. That's kind of crazy. Like, we really don't know, um, whether animals like can think and process as well as us. So that's like good. That's a cool thing to like bring up.
psychologist named Gordon Gallup Jr. came up with what is still considered the gold standard test for self awareness in animals. It's called the mirror test. While it's unconscious, you put a small mark somewhere on its body, a dot of paint on its forehead, a sticker on its ear, somewhere it can only see in a mirror, not by looking down. Then you put it in front of a mirror and watch what happens. Most animals see their reflection and think it's another animal. They posture, they bark, they try to scare it off. Eventually, they get bored and walk away, never once understanding that the thing they were threatening was themselves. But a handful of animals do something different. They see the mark. They look at the mirror. They look back at themselves. And they reach up and touch the mark on their own body. They understand that the reflection is them.
So, I mean, I feel like that would mean that they know they exist and that they're conscious. Because like, I mean, we do that. Like if you see like something on your face, like if you have a pimple or you have something on your face, you're gonna be like, "Oh, damn, like I have a pimple." So like if like specific and certain animals can do that too, I feel like that kind of shows that they know they exist and that they have some sort of awareness. But I think he's gonna keep talking about it. But yeah, I just thought I'd like butt in just right there.
The animals that pass: chimpanzees, bonobos,
That makes sense.
orangutans, gorillas, but only occasionally, dolphins, orca whales,
Oh, really?
elephants, and one bird, the Eurasian magpie,
That's
a
surprising.
crow-sized creature with a brain the size of your thumb that apparently knows what it looks like. The animals that fail: dogs, cats, almost every other mammal on Earth, including, for the first 2 years of their lives, human babies.
Oh,
Now
wow.
here's where it gets complicated, because a lot of scientists think the mirror test is a terrible way to measure self-awareness.
Yeah.
Dogs, for example, live in a world built almost entirely on smell, not sight. Asking a dog to recognize itself in a mirror might be like asking you to identify yourself from a recording of your own heartbeat. The format of the test is wrong, not the dog. In 2017, a researcher named Alexandra Horowitz modified the test. Instead of a mirror, she gave dogs a scent version, their own urine, altered urine, and completely foreign urine, and watched which one they spent the most time investigating. Dogs spent significantly more time with the altered version of their own scent. They noticed something about themselves had changed. By their own rules, in their own sensory world, dogs may know exactly who they are. But knowing who you are is different from knowing that you are. There's a distinction philosophers have been arguing about for centuries. It's the difference between being a self and knowing you're a self,
Mm,
between having experiences and knowing you have experiences. There's a word for this: metacognition. Thinking about your own thinking, being aware of your own awareness. It's what you're doing right now, actually. You're not just reading these words. You know that you're reading these words. You
yeah.
can zoom out from yourself and observe yourself from the outside. That's the question. Can animals do that? And the answer, increasingly, is yes, but it's messier than anyone expected. In 2007, researchers at the University of Georgia ran an experiment on rhesus monkeys. They gave the monkeys a memory test, and after each question gave them a choice: take a hard test worth more points or take an easy test worth fewer. The monkeys consistently chose easier questions when they were uncertain of the answer, harder questions when they felt confident. They weren't just answering questions, they were evaluating how well they knew the answer before they gave it. That's metacognition. That's an animal thinking about its own thinking. And it doesn't stop at monkeys. Rats have been shown to opt out of tests they haven't studied for, choosing a smaller guaranteed reward over gambling on a question they're not sure about. Pigeons can report their own memory failures. Dolphins have been observed hesitating before answering, in a way that mirrors human uncertainty. These animals aren't just reacting to the world, they're modeling their own internal states. They know when they know something, they know when they don't. But here's what science still can't crack: all of that, the mirror recognition, the metacognition, the self modeling, it's all behavioral. We can watch what animals do. We cannot get inside what they feel. There's a concept philosophers call qualia: the raw subjective texture of experience, the specific redness of red, the particular pain of a paper cut, the feeling of being you, right now, in this moment. Is there something it feels like to be a dog? Or is the dog just running biological software,
Probably not. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, we're not running a software. Like, we're like fully aware that we're aware. Like, I mean, he probably thinks like the exact same, I would assume. But I also like I thought it was cool that like the Dolphins passed that same kind of like test situation as well as the like the red mirror situation. So that's kind of cool. I didn't know Dolphins were that smart. So yeah, okay, back to the video.
processing inputs, producing outputs, with nobody home. The philosopher Thomas Nagel made this famous in a 1974 paper with one of the greatest titles in academic history: What is it like to be a bat? His argument was simple and devastating. Bats navigate by echolocation.
That's true.
They experience the world as a landscape of sound reflections that we literally cannot imagine. And no matter how much we study bat brains and bat behavior, we will never know what it feels like to be one. The inner experience is inaccessible. And if we can't know what it's like to be a bat, how do we know there's anything it's like to be anything other than us?
Yeah,
Some scientists think we're massively underestimating animals. In 2012, a group of neuroscientists gathered at Cambridge University and signed what became known as the Cambridge Declaration on Consciousness. Their conclusion: the neurological structures that produce consciousness in humans are not unique to humans. Birds and mammals, and possibly other creatures, possess the same neural substrates for conscious states. In plain English, the hardware that runs consciousness in your brain exists in their brains too. The lights, they argued, are probably on. Franz de Waal, one of the world's leading primatologists, spent decades watching chimpanzees and argued that the question of whether animals have inner lives was almost backwards. We should be shocked, he said, if they didn't.
yeah,
Evolution doesn't tend to invent something from scratch. Consciousness almost certainly evolved gradually, just like legs, like eyes, like lungs, which means it probably exists on a spectrum, and we are not at one end of it and everything else at the other.
yeah. I would agree with that. I mean, I don't think you're either conscious or not conscious. There's definitely like a level to it. Like I don't know. We could be the highest conscious like species, and I don't know, like dogs. I mean, they're definitely conscious. Like they definitely know what's going on. Like he understands what I say to him, and like signs I can make. So like he's definitely conscious for sure. I don't know where they got that one idea where you're either conscious or not conscious. I don't think that makes sense at all. But there's most definitely a scale. That makes a lot of sense.
We're all somewhere along the same line. And then there's the one piece of evidence that's hardest to explain away: grief. In 2018, a killer whale named Tahlequah lost her calf. The baby died shortly
Oh.
after birth, and for 17 days, Tahlequah carried the body of her dead calf on her head as she
Oh.
swam. 17 days, across more than 1,000 miles of ocean. The rest of her pod took turns helping her carry it when she got tired.
I feel like animals do actually really understand like death, like, and that kind of shows how like emotional they can be because like in many cases I have seen like even my own animals react to death in a specific like way to where they like seem like they understand it, which makes a lot of sense because I feel like they would. But I mean that's kind of like I mean it's like on the same wavelength as us as human beings, the way that they handle grief in a similar way we do. Like she just carried her little baby for 17 days because she couldn't handle like being away from being away from it, which is like kind of what us as humans do. So that's interesting that um, they kind of do the same behavioral mannerisms that we do.
Scientists called it a tour of grief, the longest recorded in any non human species, and no one had a clean behavioral explanation for it. It wasn't about survival, it wasn't about feeding. There was no evolutionary advantage to carrying a dead body for over 2 weeks across open ocean, except that maybe she knew her calf was gone
Yeah.
and couldn't let go. If that's not the behavior of a creature that knows something existed and now doesn't, what is? So, where does that leave us? The science says yes, some animals can recognize themselves. Yes, they can think about their own thinking. Yes, they feel something, probably. But the innermost question, the one you actually want answered, does the dog lying on the couch know it's alive? That one
Yeah.
we still can't fully reach. Here's what we do know: the more closely we look at animals, the more the gap narrows. Every decade of research closes the distance a little more. Abilities we once thought were uniquely human, language, tool use, culture, mourning, self recognition, keep turning up in other species. The wall between us and them has been getting shorter for as long as we've been studying them, which raises an uncomfortable question. If we've been wrong this whole time, if animals do exist in some meaningful sense, if there's something it's like to be them, if they feel and grieve and know themselves, then the way we treat them isn't just an ethical question. It's something we've been getting wrong for all of human history, and the only reason we got away with it this long is because we couldn't ask them. There's a chimpanzee named Washoe who, in 1966, became the first non
Like this is like amazing to me that like animals can learn sign language. It says first ever. I'm not guaranteeing. I'm assuming that there's other animals who can speak sign language or like um verbally connect with you through some sort of language. But I feel like that's kind of like an amazing thing that we can like somehow communicate to an animal because like I can't have a conversation with my dog. Like it like doesn't work that way. But the way that like that's kind of cool that like there's like animals that can do sign language like that.
human animal to learn American Sign Language. She learned over 350 signs.
Wow.
She taught some of them to her son. One day, a researcher who had been gone for a long time came back to visit. Washoe hadn't seen her in months. When Washoe saw her, she signed, "Cry." Then she pointed
No, that definitely means that they have some sort of like acknowledgement that they exist. Like I mean, I know chimpanzees are very smart and I'm not like saying that they aren't, but like that's crazy that they have that ability like to like recognize how they're feeling and like like transfer that into a language that they've learned. Like I feel like most humans can't even do that, so that's kind of crazy that a chimp can, and that well too.
at the researcher's eyes. "Cry." She wanted to know why the researcher wasn't crying, why she wasn't as moved as Washoe was. Whether or not Washoe understood her own existence, she understood yours. Maybe that's where it starts.
Yeah, that's kind of a interesting topic to think about, honestly. That just the whole video overall, I feel like that's kind of like an interesting, just like little thing to think about. Like I know this is a little bit different than the kind of content I usually post, and I don't know, I probably won't do like anything like this. But I just thought it was kind of cool to like just think about this for a little second. Um, but yeah, that's the video. I'm definitely going to be uploading way more videos soon, so be on the lookout for that. I appreciate y'all boys watching if you stayed till the end. I really appreciate that. And if y'all really did enjoy, I would really, you don't even gotta like the video. Just please hit that little red button down below. I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed. I hope y'all boys have a great day, and I'll see y'all later.